How the Gudobos won their freedom. This is a colorful fusion of history and legend, such as Grebo men have told around their firesides for many generations. In the peace of evening, old men smoke their pipes and tell of the Bulobos and Gudobos, two clans that existed before the birth of thunder and lightning. The Bulobos were bold and strong, and they had a mighty giant named Govan, who was leader of their army. The Gudobos paid heavy tribute and worked as slaves in Bulobos' fields. They were not permitted to beat drums, play any music, or even laugh. They were very sad. But among the Gudobos, there was a diviner, one rich man, and 3 powerful warriors. The diviner said to the rich man, whose name was Gekplo, "Let us send riches to the wise woman, who dwells in the far forest, and ask for her help and advice. It is not good that we should remain forever slaves." Gekplo summoned the 3 warriors. He gave them riches and sent them to ask the wise woman for help. The 3 warriors set off and marched rapidly for a month through forests and swamps, crossed rivers and mountains, and came to the high place where the wise woman lived. On the way, they met a small dwarf woman who carried a heavy burden, and they carried her burden for her. The little woman was a spirit in disguise, and when the 3 warriors told her of their mission, she gave them each a magic stone and said, "Each of you take 1 stone and hold it tightly. Do not let it fall until you have done what you went there to do." The warriors accepted her advice. They went to the wise woman and gave her the riches they had carried, saying, "Our people sent these gifts for you. Our tribe is small and has been enslaved, for our enemies are numerous and have a giant who leads their army. We have come to beg for your help." "I have only 1 giant left," she said, "and of course, his hornblower. The giant is known as Do, and his partner is called Gubaya. However, Do is so dreadful, so monstrous, and so fierce that no one wants to have him." "We want him," said the warriors, and held their stones more tightly. "Can you control him? He can pull up trees like rice stalks and can even fling a mountain on its side like a toy." "We can control him." The wise woman called on Do, and the giant came. He was a truly terrifying giant. Teeth issued from his nostrils, and the hair upon his head was like 1,000 raffia palms. His hornblower, Gibia, was only slightly smaller. They scorned the 3 young warriors, but the warriors laid hold of them and overthrew them with the power of the magic stones they held. When the wise woman saw that Do and Bia would submit, she gave a leopard's tooth to the warriors and said, "Drop this tooth in the village pond. Command your women to search for it, and she who finds it will give birth to twin sons. These will be Do and Gubia. They will grow to manhood as members of your clan and will do as you command." The 3 warriors were suddenly transported back to their town among the Gudobos. They dropped the leopard tooth in the pond and announced to all the young women, "Go to the pond and search for a leopard tooth. She who finds it will bear 2 sons, and they will lead us from slavery." The young women searched all day and night, groping with their hands and feet and fishing nets and bailing water. But all they found was fish. Then Gekplo's wife tried too. Although she was old and people laughed, she found the leopard tooth. The following year, all the young Gudobo girls gave birth to vigorous baby boys. For somehow, while searching in the pond, they had become pregnant through the power of the leopard tooth. As foretold by the wise woman, the one who found the leopard tooth, Gekplo's wife, bore 2 sons in severe agony. The first to appear was Bia, the hornblower. To everyone's surprise, he was born with his horn. He wasted no time in blowing it with a mighty blast to announce that Do was coming. When Do arrived, he wore a machete strapped across his body. Like all the other babies born around that time, Do and Bia refused breast milk and demanded nuts and meat. They grew with amazing speed. The mood and character of the whole clan changed, and all the men felt confident and brave. Something amazing happened to all the infants born in the clan following the warriors' visit to the wise woman. They grew to manhood in just 2 years. They became strong and lusty men who soon began to fight and kill each other. They drank all the springs and streams dry, killed elephants for pleasure. In general, they were strong and fierce beyond the nature of normal men. Do and Gibia grew into giants, formidable fellows who could pluck trees from the ground like rotten rice stalks. One day, Do saw the tribal drums and asked, "What are these used for?" Do's father, Gekplo, took him aside and explained the clan's predicament to him. "You see, son, our clan lives in bondage to the Bulobos. We are their slaves. They do with us as they please. They take our food, our women, our children. They have even forbidden us from beating our own drums. They never want us to be happy." Do's body trembled with rage. He seized the drum and began to beat it fiercely. Gibia joined in the action with a sustained blast of his horn. Fear gripped the clan, but deep in the hearts of the people, there was hope. The hostile Gudobos heard the drums. They immediately sent a group of warriors to seize and kill the drummer. They were in for a big and deadly surprise. Do seized them and crushed their skulls between his 2 fingers like ripe berries. He flung their bodies back in the direction from which they had come. This was a blatant declaration of war. The Gudobos wondered what form of madness had seized the weak Gudobos, but when their spies reported that the slaves had somehow raised a formidable army, the Gudobos were alarmed. They assembled an army themselves, consisting of their own warriors and those of friendly tribes. They soon marched to war against the Gudobos with their giant Govan and his hornblower leading them. The 2 armies met and clashed in a fierce battle that changed the history of this part of what became Maryland County in Liberia. For 2 days, the battle raged, and neither side would yield. Govan, the enemy giant, was causing such havoc that the Gudobos called on Do and Gibia. They had kept their giant and hornblower in reserve. Do and Gibia decided to wear iron rings on their ankles to mock the Gudobos. This was a symbolic display of the slave status of the Gudobos. They took iron bars and twisted them round their legs. When Do walked, his anklets rang out a song. Bloko yun, kapoyo yun, bloko yun, kapoyo yun. Do and his hornblower walked towards the battlefield, but on the way they found palm wine, drank deep draughts, and fell asleep. Warriors came to wake them, but could not. In desperation, they thrust red-hot irons in the hornblower's ear, and he awoke. He took his horn and the blew. "To battle, O mighty Do! Kill all you can, O mighty Do!" The song aroused the strongest emotions and the strongest bravery. Do awoke and grabbed his sword. Together they entered the battle, hacking and cutting, slashing and pulling. They destroyed everything in their wake, so that nothing was left standing, not even trees. They slew the entire army of the Gudobos, except the enemy giant and his hornblower, and then night fell. Great was the feasting among the Gudobos that night. On the following day, Do and Gia went forth again. Loko yun, kapoyo yun, loko yun, kapoyo yun. Do's mock slave shackles jingled. Gibia blew his trumpet. "To battle, O mighty Do! Kill all you can, O mighty Do!"
Govan and his hornblower appeared, and the enemy hornblower blew such a deafening blast on his horn that rocks crumbled into sand. Bia put his horn to his lips and blew till his muscles swelled and the veins stood out on his forehead. His rival trembled, his eyes bulged, and he fell down dead on the ground.
Do and Govan engaged in mortal combat. They struggled briefly, then Do's gleaming sword pierced through Govan's body. As he stumbled, Do seized Govan and ripped his body to pieces. It was a horrible sight to see. Having vanquished his arch-rival, Do ran amok in all towns, ravishing the people of the Gudobos clan. It was a great victory. Do removed his shackles and threw them far into Gudobos clan to declare his people free. From then on, the Gudobos lived a happy and peaceful life. The clan prospered and became the envy of other clans near and far. Unfortunately, Do and Bia were not cut out for a quiet and easy life. They became restless. The giants had worked hard to achieve peace for their people, but now that peace washer, they became restless, looking for ways to express their excess energy. Do and Gibia made great drums from the trunks of trees and led the clan in merrymaking. Sometimes they did not respect the customs of their people, a situation that occasionally brought tension, but who would dare reprimand these giants? When they were ready to marry, the giants simply went into any house and took any number of young women they desired. Whether the woman was married or not, Do and Bia did not ask or care. But since there was no more fighting, Do and Bia became less and less content until one day they decided to leave. They entered a field which was being burned. The fire surrounded them, and the flames engulfed them. The skies darkened, black clouds appeared, and a great storm arose. There was a violent volley of thunder, and lightning scorched the earth.
It was the first thunder and lightning known to the world. Bia was up there blowing his mighty horn, and Do was searching the world for other giants to kill with his gleaming sword.